Hi, Val.
Oh, hi, John. Do you excuse me? Just catching up with the usual mound of paperwork.
Oh, take your time, Val. I've just got that horrible sinking feeling just thinking about clearing about 1 million emails.
Oh, only 1 million. So, John, how was your latest jolly?
If you mean my 2 days at a QCF event organised by Skills for Care, then it went well.
I know you were dreading going, so what was it? The usual bad coffee in some local hotel and a few tedious speakers?
You're dead right about the bad coffee, but you're wrong about it just being tedious speakers. For once, it was worth taking a couple of days away from here.
A useful conference? Now, there's a collector's item. I mean, given all the moaning and groaning you did before you went, you've really got my attention now, so come on, tell me more.
I know I was sceptical about the QCF before I went, but I did try and go with an open mind. As you rightly pointed out, the event did kick off with Skills for Care staff giving us the latest on the developments and the new qualifications and a useful reminder of the QCF. For once, didn't actually need the rocket fuel coffee as it was brief and to the point.
Wow.
They emphasised that the QCF is not a solution in itself. What it is a way of developing a new set of units and qualifications that match what employers are saying that they want and need.
Ooh, another collector's item.
Quite, but this is the weird part. Some of the units were based on our feedback and comments from the website consultation.
Blimey, that is unusual.
Well, have a listen to this. Introductory awareness of models of disability. Support the use of assistive technology. These are titles of some of the units.
Seems like it might be less cumbersome than the old MVQs and much more up to date.
During the consultation, we requested a unit on assistive technology, and now here it is. I can't believe we actually got what we wanted. Amazing.
I think I might be about to faint. John, have they reprogrammed you? I mean, can we have the real John back, please? You sound like a salesperson for these new qualifications now.
Well, I'm more like a critical friend.
Oh, phew. Normal service is resumed from the arch cynic.
Well, someone around here has got to be relentlessly positive. It's not going to be me, is it? But the real beauty is that these units can be picked up to reflect the diversity of our workers' job roles and to reflect the needs of the business, and more importantly, the needs of the people who use our services.
Yeah, I don't understand, though. How will that work here at Sunny Smiles?
OK, well, we provide care for older people, don't we? So let's have a look at the dementia pathway.
OK.
Our workers can complete the new Health and Social Care Diploma with a dementia pathway.
Yeah, OK, I've got that.
Yeah. This means that they can still complete units around the core values of our sector as a whole, the core topics everyone needs to know. But at the same time, undertaking units specific to working with people with dementia. That means they can cover both generic learning and specialist learning under one qualification.
So they can gain the specialist learning we want them to have to benefit our residents without having to do a separate qualification?
Exactly. And at the same time, this learning is consistent throughout the country and we can be sure it's of the same high standard.
Well, that sounds great for us here and for the people with dementia, but what about the rest of the sector? Like, well, Julie's domiciliary care team down the road or other service user groups like people with learning disabilities?
That was brought up at the conference, actually. We were informed that the LD qualification, the learning disability qualification, will no longer exist in its current form. Like the dementia pathway, there will be an LD pathway through the HSC diploma where workers can achieve this learning in a contextualised way. There will also be a standalone certificate available at levels 2 and levels 3 for workers supporting people with learning disabilities that can be used for continuing professional development.
But what about dom care?
A specific dom care qualification or pathway has not been developed because they felt that the roles were so diverse it would be difficult to capture in one pathway. They feel the generic pathway will allow these workers to tailor their unit choices to their job roles, which in effect is a kind of pathway. All of the units recognise personalisation and this is reflected throughout. It was felt the same for other service user groups as well. So at the moment there is just a pathway for dementia and learning disabilities.
This is very odd. You sound like the convert and I'm the sceptical one saying I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, you won't have long to wait, as the qualifications that replace the MVQs levels 2 and 3 will be here by January. Apparently the dementia qualification has already been launched.
OK, I'm sold. Anyway, it's here now, so we have to make the best of it as always. I mean, the good news is from here is that I've done a lot of appraisals over the last few days, so I took the chance to mention the changes in qualifications.
And good news?
Well, thankfully, a very positive response. Once we got over the fear that existing qualifications would be meaningless, I made it crystal clear to them that all existing qualifications would still count and that the new framework would reward the work they actually do rather than what someone in an office somewhere thinks they do. Even your old mate Edna went away satisfied, which is a result.
Oh, no. That means there are more hassles from Edna about getting new qualifications.
Oh, but not a bad problem, eh? When you phoned yesterday, John, during your break, you mentioned that there wouldn't be a specific qualification for induction. So what happened to that?
Ah, yes, induction. Now, the thinking is that the common induction standards have just been refreshed. They've been designed to closely mirror the mandatory units, which all workers will do as part of the new diplomas. So we need to be clever about our induction standards so people start to work towards those units as soon as they start work.
So we link their induction standards to the HSC diploma from day one. Clever.
Indeed. Now, Val, I need to mention the F word.
Steady on. Bit early for that.
Val, I mean funding.
The eternal nightmare.
Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you'll be well aware that we're facing a difficult time with funding, to say the least.
So all this hard work could come crashing down because the cash to support funding isn't there?
No, we just need to be smart about how we access funding. The new diplomas will still be funded by the Skills Funding Agency.
I'm assuming all this will be reflected in the MMDSSC.
Oh yeah, that too. Apparently we'll be able to record new and old qualifications in the NMDSSC. They also mentioned that Skills for Care are developing the NMDSSC so that short, non-accredited courses such as fire safety can also be recorded for our workers if we want to. We can essentially add what we like, and it will be made available to us to use for CQC inspections, applications for funding, local authority commissioning, appraisals, etc. The good news is that Skills for Care and CQC have developed advice and guidance on how to comply with the what was it called? The Essential Standards of Quality and Safety.
So we're finally getting to see some real meat on the bones for what the qualifications will look like and how we might fund them. Now all we have to do is implement it.
Yep, hopefully it'll be painless.
Oh, that'll be a first.
The good news is that it will be similar to the old MVQs. Employers need to contact training providers who are offering the qualifications, which should be linked to an awarding organisation. Skills for Care have been working in partnership with these awarding organisations to develop the qualifications.
So we don't need to do anything then?
Yes, we do. We need to speak to the training providers who say they're offering these new qualifications. But we need to be certain they're offering the units that we want, not just the units they want us to have.
Yeah, I'll leave that to you then.
Joy of joys. At least I have the delight of SFC's website and some FAQs to support me along the way.
Oh, phew. The old cynical John's back. To ease your pain, why don't we go and have a cup of our own awful coffee before we have this staff meeting? And perhaps some bacon butties whilst we're there.
Oh, that sounds perfect.